Okay, we're in. Keigo Takada, welcome to Lockdown Sessions.
Thanks, Brad, for inviting me to this session.
This is very exciting. So, Keigo, you and I work together in the same team. You work as an executive coach, as a trainer and facilitator, and also as a lecturer at Chuo University in Japan. And I thought it would be really cool to get you onto the Lockdown Sessions. One, because it's a really good insight into what life has been like the last 6 months in Japan.
Yeah.
But also as colleagues, you were just saying that we've been working together for a number of years, and actually the story of how we came together is quite cool. So this is an opportunity for you to really share your insights. So where do you want to start? Do you want to start with how we met?
Yeah. It was in 2014 or 15. So, Brad, you contacted me through LinkedIn. You are trying to find a coach, a Japanese-speaking coach for an IT company. So at that time, I didn't have any certification of coaching. So I told you that, but you told me that, oh, it's okay. You can do coaching first, and then you have to find some certification after that. So I'm very sorry for my first client, but now, yeah, he is working well. So I met him in his company. We say hi each other. Yeah, he enjoyed my coaching, at least. Yeah. So by learning coaching things, I think my life has changed. So I have to thank you. So thanks for bringing me into coaching world.
Oh, that's my pleasure, because anything to do with coaching is my passion. So if it helps other people find theirs, that's great. What do you feel has changed since you started coaching?
Right. I'm more trying to listen to people. And then, I think I gained the insight how to look at people. Yeah, so I listen more carefully than the past. Right. So for a coaching session, in the end, if the client's face turns to brighter, I feel very happy. So I feel I'm contributing to the clients. So that's very good feeling. So without coaching, I couldn't have felt this feeling, such feeling.
Yeah. And actually, you get quite a few people each year. So actually, you get that feeling regularly. How is it different, do you think, to the training world that you live in? Because when you're training, obviously you're in a workshop, you have groups. What do you see as the difference for you?
Right. Yeah, a coaching session includes more human touch. So we can be more open. Training, I try to open to everybody, but it's sometimes difficult because of the number of people. So I think I enjoy both of them, training and coaching, but I feel more open while I'm doing coaching. Also, the coaches can be open to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I because it's more intimate, right? It's one-on-one. It's not to the group.
Right.
And I'm interested in this myself, so I hope I'm not sounding ignorant, but in the West, we have a sense, from a cultural perspective. In Japan, there's a hierarchy. showing vulnerability isn't necessarily seen as a strength. How does coaching work in Japan when what you're trying to do is get people to be intimate and also to be vulnerable?
Right. Okay. I don't feel any, for example, seniority or hierarchy while I'm doing coaching, because people are very open to me. So it's the beauty of coaching is to find the solutions or the ways for breaking through the situation or client's problem issues. Yeah, I don't think it's right. Yeah. We can talk anything other than hierarchy position in a company, so we can talk as a person. Yeah, I think that's the beauty of coaching.
Which is the same everywhere, right? So actually, the cultural sensitivities don't actually exist. And I know from when we've worked on programs together, sometimes I might find myself working with someone from Japan office. First of all, I'm amazed at how brilliant their English is. And they speak far better English than I do Japanese. So we do the coaching in English. And for me, that's an interesting one. So do you coach them in Japanese or do you coach them in English?
Yeah, both of them. So I have some Chinese client last year and this year. Yeah, but the basic coaching method, the process is the same.
Of course.
So I don't see any difference between a country.
I love that. So when all of this lockdown happened and the virus started spreading, at the beginning, Japan was hit quite hard because of the older population. How did lockdown affect you from a personal, from a business perspective?
Right. So, my philosophy is everything has brighter side and dark side, positives and negatives. Actually, my life hasn't changed much. Because I work at home. I create my training courses at home. I practice at home. And actually, I like reading books. So my life hasn't changed much. So brighter side about lockdown, I could read a lot of books.
Right.
Yeah. So I challenged to 2 books. One book has 800 pages.
Oh, I'm already tired thinking of that.
The other one is 500 pages. Yeah. So both of them are about philosophy and religion. Do you say liberal arts in the UK? Liberal arts for the general knowledge. So I read about the books in that area. So without this lockdown, without this crisis, I would have never read that.
Right. There's your bright side.
Yeah, bright side. Yeah, negative side. I don't know, because I'm naturally an optimistic person, I guess. So I could have read books, and I could have much time with my cat.
Right, of course, important. As I already mentioned, mine is sitting here on the desk. No doubt will show up soon when he gets bored.
That's right. A negative side is I love tennis, playing tennis. I couldn't play tennis, and professional football, they stopped having matches.
Yeah, well,
so very sad.
This is why we connected right at the beginning, Keigo, because in our first conversation, we talked about Manchester United and Liverpool, and football, basically.
Did we talk about that? I don't remember. I can't remember.
Yeah, we talked about football for like 50% of the time,
Yeah.
and business for the other 50%. So I knew
Yeah.
straight away that we would be
Good,
absolutely fine
Right.
working together. What about your clients? What have you observed they have done during
Yeah.
this time?
Yeah. They say let's postpone the training. So they say postpone. They use the word postpone. So I regard it it's stop, right? But interestingly, the trainings are coming back to me. So in May, June, there was no training at all. But from last month until December, they are full of trainings actually. Yeah, and one more thing I realized that um, communication skill trainings are postponed or stopped, but management trainings, management workshop is coming back because clients realize that managing people in this tough situation is very important. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting point. I mentioned on an episode a few months back. In March, I was getting emails every day from clients postponing,
Yeah.
and everything was coming out the diary. And I was thinking, do you know what? Like you, I'm quite positive in my outlook. I'm going to spend some time with the family. I'm going to go running every day, walk my dogs. And it lasted about 2 weeks before people realized, actually, this is not some quick thing. This is going to be a long time. And like you said, the management training was, can you do it virtually? Basically, can you run these sessions online? Because we still need to develop people. And actually, there were new challenges for managers. Working virtually, trusting people. There were all these things. I'm interested, like, when you think about the clients themselves, have you found that you've done more kind of coaching in this time? Is coaching a way that's been able to kind of help people during this period?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you bet. Yeah. Just last week I did management training followed by coaching. Yeah, so people can learn basic management theory skills. After that, we do coaching. So they reveal their heart and mind very openly. So they raise me their personal questions, personal issues. So basic thing and personal thing. I think that's the best match for one person, for one manager.
I suppose when I think about the work we've done, so much of it has been about training leaders and helping leaders open up to their leadership, actually.
Yeah.
What do you feel are some of the challenges for leaders today now that we come out of like very strict lockdown? I know there are still some problems, obviously. This virus isn't leaving us anytime soon. But what do you see as the challenges?
Yeah, challenges are they have to think about their actions, management actions by themselves, because there are no role models. Interestingly, the one participant said that the management training, he said that we are Corona first age managers. Yeah, I thought it's interesting description. Yeah, so challenges are we have to think of new ways to manage people, to lead people. Yeah.
I think
yeah. then Japanese people are it's said that Japanese people like to follow the past examples. So we are not very courageous enough to try new things.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's challenge for Japanese managers.
I suppose that's where coaching can really help, right? Because you help people find that courage. In coaching, I've always seen coaching as helping people find the courage to choose their own path. But if there's a cultural question around that kind of courage, do you see businesses struggling at all to cope with Corona?
Yes. Before Corona as well. So I guess the training trend for these several years, around 2010, still the communication skills are popular. The skill, and then around 2015, management leadership, as well as innovation.
Mm-hmm.
Plus globalization. So most of Japanese people say globalization and innovation are very important, but we haven't seen much fruit at this moment yet.
Well, the world looks different now.
Right. So we need more innovative mind and globalization mind, I guess. So we need to be very ready for that after Corona, with Corona era.
Somebody was joking with me. They were saying, imagine, it's 2040, and somebody says, back in 2020, that was the first year of lockdown.
Possible.
Right. But to your point, right? There's almost like it's the first stage of Corona managers, and I feel almost the responsibility with my coachees, especially those that are more Gen Z, to help them unpick the world they're in. Because if you think about it, most of the people in our generation, they went to an office, they were onboarded, you had connections, there wasn't as much travel. In the last 5 years, I've been to Asia maybe 25 times. I don't know the next time I'll be coming. In fact, I was meant to be going to Asia to Singapore on the 23rd of March, when we locked down here in the UK.
23rd. Wow, nick of time,
Yeah, so literally 48 hours before I was due to fly,
really?
I got an email from the client to say, no, because in Singapore they were locked down from January. We're not coming back to the office. And then the airline called to say we're cancelling your flight. So I missed my opportunity to go this year.
I think so. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I like traveling. Pleasure travel, business travel. Both of them I really like. So that's a negative point. I can't travel anymore.
You were living in the US. You were living in the US as well, though, right?
No, in the UK. In 2001.
Right, which is where your English is so good from, right?
Thanks.
Talk to me a little bit about how the community has coped with Corona in Japan. How did you deal with it?
Japanese people are naturally cooperative. So I think 80%, 90% are very kind to people, so they follow the rules. But 10% people, yeah, I think that's the universal principle. 10% people are
90-10.
yeah, idiot. Yeah, yeah. But I think that's all of them included human nature. So I don't want to blame such people because such people are people as they are. So yeah.
I think it's interesting though, because in the UK we're not so compliant.
Really?
Not really. So we were very compliant at the beginning.
Yeah.
So for 3 or 4 months, everyone was following the rules. But then in recent months, we're tired of being told what to do here. And in fact, the numbers are, as we sit here today in September, the numbers are going up in the UK.
Really? So how many people about roughly?
So this is the interesting thing, right? So now we're up to like 2,500, 3,000 new cases every day.
Yeah.
But we don't see a rise in hospital admissions, and we're not seeing a big rise in death as well. And I think it's really interesting because at the beginning, I don't know if you had this in Japan, but every day on the news was how many cases, how many people have died, and it was so depressing. I know it was real, so I'm not trying to be in denial.
Yeah.
Every day, death. And people weren't talking about who was recovering, how many people didn't have symptoms. It was just cases and death. Cases and death. So in this country, we have like 50,000 people or something like this have died.
50,000.
It's a lot of people, right? But now, even though the number is rising, we're not seeing the same. So there's a lot of misinformation going around in the UK where people are either, I'm not going to wear a mask, for example. In Asia, ever since I've been coming in, ever since I can remember, in Asia, wearing masks was just something that people did.
Yeah, culture.
Right? Stopped from pollution, breathing in the horrible air. So when you add that to the compliance, liking to do things, it seems as though there's a much stricter way of coping with it.
Yeah, that's right.
Than we have in the UK.
Right, okay. Yeah, it was not difficult for us to wear masks. No problem.
And are you guys wearing masks now when you go out? Do you have to wear masks?
Yes, 98% people.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people are taking away their masks. Yeah, actually this morning I had a face-to-face sales call. I took train. Some people are not wearing masks.
Really? Yeah.
But people don't blame that.
And was it busy just going into town? And
Yes, getting back. Yeah. So in the morning and the evening, the commuting time, very busy. It's like the fast. It's same as the fast level. Yeah.
So that's where we're struggling here in the UK, right? Because people are not going back to work. I was speaking to one client the other day. He was saying people are worried about getting the underground, the tube, to commute. And he said they don't need to worry. There's nobody on the trains. Like the trains are empty.
Yeah.
And if you walk into the city of London, Keigo, it's like a ghost town.
Really?
It's like a ghost town. They reckon less than 1 in 6 people have gone back to the office.
Right.
So
how about museums or?
I think the museums are now open.
Okay.
But we have no tourists coming.
Right.
And because if you come from literally any country with a number above like 20 out of 100,000, it's quarantine. So it means that if you were traveling here to the UK, you've got to stay in your hotel room for 2 weeks.
That's right.
So
And
it's
then
not really a holiday,
that's all. Hotel life, yeah.
right?
Right.
And I'm not sure that people want to travel to the UK just to stay in their hotel.
Yeah, it happens.
So it makes it difficult. So the economy is really challenging.
That's right.
What about with your own family? How have you coped when you look at your family, and how do you not see each other?
Yeah.
What's that been like?
Yeah, family is fine, but my parents is not in Tokyo, so
Okay.
my hometown. So the government suggests we shouldn't meet parents, aged people.
Mhm.
So the last time was when in March. That was the last time I met my parents. So my mother didn't say, "Keigo, please come back to my to hometown," but she didn't say directly, "Keigo, you may be able to come back," like that. Yeah, I can feel her feeling, but yeah, I said no because yeah, I think the uh, the danger level is not so high. But if something happens, I couldn't regret more. So I said that to my mom. So I didn't go back to my hometown.
Yeah. So I had to take a COVID test last week.
Yeah.
Not very pleasant, down the back of the throat and in the nose.
Okay.
Anyway, after 2 days, I got the SMS from the hospital. It's fine. I'm not positive. And then this week, I'm doing the antibody test to see if I've had it. I've been selected randomly by the NHS to do the antibody test, and I'm interested to see if I had it, because I was traveling in February. And I came back from traveling, and a week after I came back, I was really sick. I'm very rarely sick, actually. But I was really sick, high fever. I was in bed. I was really not very well.
Really?
So I want to
Why?
see.
Because you were tired.
No, I don't know whether maybe it was an early version of COVID.
Possible. Yeah.
It's quite possible, because I was traveling on aeroplanes. I was, I was in Europe. I was coming from Spain. And so I don't know, but for 5 days, I couldn't move from my bed.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, so when they send me the letter, do the COVID test, do the antibody test, I'm like, yeah, for sure. But with my parents, my father and mother, they're late 70s, so like your parents, they're older, they're shielding, and we didn't see them for 4 months. It was really hard, actually.
Yeah.
So we were doing like Zoom calls together and FaceTimes, and this was nice. We could see each other, talk every day, but to not see them.
Yeah,
And
that's different.
when we go to see them now, I've seen them maybe 3 times. We sit they live in an apartment, so we sit at the front of the apartment, almost by the road, and we sit, and we're like 3 meters apart. They're wearing gloves, they're wearing their masks, and we sit and we talk, and obviously it's nice just to see them, but we haven't hugged each other for 6 months.
That's sad.
Right?
Sorry for you.
It's really sad. Same with my with my brothers and my sister, and my nephew and nieces. And I think for the older generation, what makes it hard is, these are their last years, and they don't get to hug their grandchildren, and they, the nice things about life. Life is hard enough, actually. Tell me though, as a coach, have you had to deal with anybody, maybe even not a client, maybe friends, who are a little bit nervous or a little bit scared of going back to normal, where maybe your coaching, the way you coach people, is maybe helping them?
Yeah, actually, I haven't met very sad people. actually. Yeah, they are fine because I think the percentage of infected people are very small. So there are no people around us who are infected. So I think that's why. But the coaches are very happy. But yeah, as we talked 10 minutes ago, we are facing very new thing right now. So managers are struggling to find the right angle to talk to their people. Yeah, some people, some coaches told me that they had more meetings, online meetings, to support their direct reports. Other person actually complained me by saying that I try to I try to be very cooperative to people, but people say, hey, please leave me alone. Very, like, it's very extreme.
Right, but you have to be careful, right? Because as a virtual manager, if you're calling 5 times a day to make sure they're okay.
Yeah, it could be micromanagement.
Right, exactly. It's a real fine balance.
Interesting. Yeah, but yeah, in the light of COVID, we are very happy. I don't see any sad people because of COVID.
And you talk about the angle for managers. What are their challenges, do you think, when we look forward? We understand the challenges recently, the last few months, but what about in the next 6 months? What do you see as the challenges for managers?
I think within 6 months, things will not be changed.
No.
I guess, yeah. Many people enjoy remote working, but very light, small talks, we cannot do that online. Yeah, I think this is same in the UK, right? Yeah, so we just do the official conversation only. Yeah, so we don't do we don't do many small talks. Yeah, and I'm very worried about the innovative mind is not grown through online. So yeah.
And that's an important thing, I think, because in organizations, that's where you build trust. Those small conversations, right? Trust doesn't happen inside the meeting. Trust happens outside the meeting.
Yeah. That's it.
And the culture, actually, my experience of working with Japanese people is, even those that I coach, the first person from Japan I coached, he says to me, after we did the first session, it was very formal, actually. It was a very formal coaching session. But he was, I think, checking if he could trust me. I'm Western. He was explaining his culture a lot to me. But after the session, he said to me, Brad, have you got like half an hour? Do you have to run to another meeting? I said, no. And we just sat and we talked. And he just wanted to know me a little bit better. He wants to know about my family. Yeah. He wants to know my belief systems. He wants to know, and this is great learning for me, because actually what I've realized in all the people I've coached from Japan, the relationship is the most important thing.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Which puts a pressure on COVID times, because that's the bit that you're saying.
Yeah, that's right.
Is now kind of out of scope, because we have all these meetings, but it's to talk about work. Yeah. I wonder how we get back to those water cooler conversations, the chats in the elevator, in the coffee shops.
I think it may sound strange to Western people, but Japanese people are evaluated, sometimes evaluated by attitude. Yeah, supportive mind, kindness by managers. such attitude or mindset is evaluated, and it raises their salary, or sometimes it gets pay raise.
So actually, how I operate and how I act is more important even than sometimes what I do for my results. I like that. That would be really nice if in the UK we were more concerned with how people acted towards others or how their mental attitude would get in the way. Is Japanese culture a more positive culture, or is that just you?
Not sure, but overall we are very conservative. So we want examples, the very detailed instructions. So I hope this kind of what to say, the deliberateness could work to COVID this crisis. Because we are not good at leaping.
Right. So this was my question, right? Because things are so ambiguous now. Things are so uncertain.
That's right.
I wonder how, as a culture, when things are so uncertain. So here in the UK, when things are uncertain, people rebel. They want to know things are concrete and fixed. So we have people marching here and protesting about wearing masks. Like, you have 10,000 people, they meet in London, and they stand there not wearing their masks. We're not going to wear masks. And then on another day, you've got the challenges around, with BLM, with Black Lives Matter, so they want to march. And then you've got another challenge around environment and, climate change. So you have all these big things which are not going away. I was so interested at the beginning of lockdown in the first few months when I was looking at satellite pictures of China, and they were showing what China looked like without all the pollution of the cars on the road.
I saw that too.
It was amazing, right? They showed the pictures of like Venice in Italy looked so clean and no tourists.
That's right.
But the world has to go back, right? The world has to come back to normal. And so my last question, Keigo, to you today, and I want you to come back in a few months' time, right? You have to come back and we do another conversation. We see
each other.
We see what life is looking like in Japan in maybe like November. What's your wish for the future when you look forward and you think of the experience we've all had with COVID? What's your desire, your wish
for myself?
For yourself, and when you look out for your own ecosystem, for your friends, your family.
So firstly, for myself, I like to keep my job, my tasks. I love my job, and I regard myself as very lucky person. To know you, to come to know you. Right. So I'd like to keep supporting people through training, coaching, conversation. And this is my personal wish, and also the wish for Japanese society. People say the difficult time could be an opportunity to change. But I think again, I have to think about our human nature. We want to go back to the past. So I'm not too positive on change Japanese people make, But I hope that Japanese people, have found the source of happiness. Yeah, for myself, my cat, the time for reading. So, but the Japanese people, personally, each of us found the meaning of life, not the financial success for their companies. That's my wish for everybody, Japanese people. So it's not company or Japanese society, but Japanese people, every Japanese people.
It's that human. It's the human side, Keigo, is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I connect so nicely with you, because actually your first thought isn't about how do you make money. Your first thought is how do you find happiness. You're not thinking about how do I scale my business. You're thinking about how can we communicate more effectively.
On my podcast, actually.
Yeah. Keigo, listen, it's brilliant. Thank you so much for joining me on Lockdown Sessions. And I'll send you a link when we publish it.
Okay.
And we'll look forward to seeing you again in maybe 6 weeks or something. We'll come back.
Yeah.
And we'll do another one.
Yeah. All right.
Love it. Okay, that's brilliant. Keigo, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Bye.
So for English people, we say cheers, mate. Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
And you say it with a really good English accent as well. I think
I'm very good used to this.
I think what we'll do is we'll call the episode "Cheers, Mate" in brackets.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Cheers, Keigo.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. Bye.
Bye.